Greetings. Happy Monday, June 22nd. I am back home. Thank you so much. First of all, if this is your first episode, thank you for joining us. My name is Casey Joyner. I'm with Scenic Sotheby's. We have been doing this for years. We come to you every week, and we're going to break down the market and bring you some extra content on what's going on. And if you have been with me for some time, good grief, I apologize about the quality of that video last week from a hotel room somewhere up north. You're a diehard. If you hung in there with me for that, I appreciate you guys. But you know what? Show must go on. I just wanted to bring it to you. Looking back, that was probably one of the worst ones we had in terms of visibility. But you know what? You're just listening. It still got the content, right? So let's get into it. Listen, big one today, man. The hot sheet. I took a peek. It's wild. Hang tight for that. Lots to talk about there. And then I got 3 talking points from the week that was that I want to bring to your attention so we can just kind of talk through them. This is us talking, but let's get right into that hot sheet, guys. I hope you guys are great. It is. Listen, there are people everywhere in town. It feels like the 4th is already here. It's great for the area. I'm going to expand upon that in a second. But look, I want to get to these numbers because I'm anxious. New listings 46. I like that. That's kind of what I thought. Now, listen. I say that I'm expecting a little bit of surge. Anybody that's been watching me for any amount of time knows next week, when we get close to July 4th, we will have a little bit of a spike, right? We see that on Memorial Day. Usually see it to a lesser extent around the 4th, but we will see it. Let's look at pendings, 44. Now, listen, it's been a little bit all over the place. We're 2 weeks removed from being below 50% on our threshold. And then here we are again. We almost took away the same amount of listings that we were bringing on, right? In that perfect world, eat through that inventory, we'd bring on 46 and take away 46. But 44 is amazing. And we celebrate when we even hit the 50% mark. So even if we'd have been at 23 right there, we'd be happy. And we were below that a few weeks ago. So it's been a little bit all over the place. But to be honest with you, for a lot of segments, this is what I was expecting on those pendings. Close 22. Again, we're going to watch what happens at the end of the month before July 4th. I'm predicting this in 2 weeks when I'm coming to you. Actually, next week, we're going to see a surge in those closings. I promise you, because I've got several on the table that are going to be getting slammed in before the 4th, before everybody just checks out for a week. We love you bankers and title companies, but you guys have to vacation too. Here's the big one. Price changes 99, but 99 on the price changes. Guys, listen, here's why I love this. What was happening to the numbers was, if you guys remember, when people were making price changes, they were literally taking them off the market, bringing them back on as new listings, and they wouldn't show up, but it was just a price change. They were just manipulating things. So it would mess with our new inventory. I think the market is settled into good old-fashioned price changes. I think this is reflective, and I keep telling this to all sellers, even if you're not working with me. Moving the price does attract attention. Moving the price doesn't mean the market's going to then lower what they may potentially offer you. Moving the price in a lot of situations moves you into the strike zone of buyers that haven't looked at yet because they've been waiting on that sweet spot. I work with buyers. I can tell you, they'll all of a sudden reach out to me and go, Casey, this one's interesting. It's been on the market 100 days, but it finally slipped below $1 million or something, right? There's just something that moves on it that triggers them. So what I'm saying is, if you're sitting out there and you're not getting the showings, making a move is your only choice. And you might say, hey, Casey, is that going to guarantee me success? No. But if you've been sitting there without showings, that's a guarantee that it's probably going to stay the course. Does that make sense? When the rest of the market is seeing a little bit of movement, if you're not seeing what you need to, you're going to have to keep working. And I think that's reflective of that. Okay. So look, I love that. The new listings is what I was expecting. The pendings is what we were hoping for at all times. And the price changes is not shocking because I see it happening and the market is being rewarded for staying active. Now, let's get on to the next thing. Man, I'm fired up today. Appreciate you guys. I'm glad to be back home. It's an awesome experience getting to travel a little bit in the middle of summer, but I got to be honest, anytime I do that, when I come back, It's just it's wide open, right? So you get a little punished for stepping away a little bit. Listen, this week's talking points. I want to bring these up because it's something that when I get repetitive things throughout the week or something that really stands out to me, I want to bring this to your attention. Number one, let's just get into it. It's okay to ask your agent about experience. Now, this isn't a plug for Casey. I know there are people out there watching that work with other people. I would love for you to work with me, but in general, it's okay to ask about their experience. Here's why. I heard a story this week. Somebody just bought a Gulfront property, and to be honest, how the beachfront worked and the expectations around it were not accurate. There was a listing agent involved that really didn't know exactly how the beachfront worked, and everybody didn't get their knowledge. Guys, especially on the beachfront. Like you guys might be more educated because we talk about it a lot, but there are, between the DEP setback lines and how it goes and what you can add to the house and what consultant you need to bring in, for those things, like you need to be having those conversations. You need to be exploring certain things. Okay. And agents can help with that. I continue to get offers from buyers. Your agents in a lot of cases are not sending me comps to justify their offer. They're just throwing something out there. I'm calling them back going, hey, you want to tell me where you're coming from with this? You know what I mean? Like it gets the unprofessional part of what we do. So the reason I'm saying there's been a consistent amount of stories, when things start picking up, it gets a little bit wilder. So what I'm saying to you guys is, buyers and sellers, it's okay to ask just because they're friends of yours or a family member. I get it, but it's okay to ask if they've got experience. Number two, there is no blanket statement about this market. Man, I keep running into this. And listen, this is my soapbox thing, and it's a real reason I do this channel. But I hear so much, and I'm out in the field so much, and I talk to other agents so much, and I talk to buyers and sellers all the time. And then, boy, we've got to stop casting these blanket statements about how hot or not the market is. There are second home neighborhoods that are dead. There are second home neighborhoods that are on fire. There are investment locations that are dead. There are investment locations that I would love to have more listings in because I'll have in backup offers. I can help you through all that, but we don't do, and I'm talking about some of these are a few miles apart, guys. And then I can help you as to why that's standing out right now and why some are not. I'm perplexed on some of them. Honestly, I mean, there's some of them that look good on paper that are just not getting the activity, and we dig deep to try to find it. But we've got to stop with the blanket expectations on the market. If you have somebody saying, man, 30A is hot, I can show you places where it's not. If you have people saying 30A is cold, I can show you where it's red hot. Okay? We got to stop it. All right? Let's dive in. Demand more from whatever you're seeking. That's what we're trying to do on this channel. I'm happy to help. Text me if you want something else. And number three, investors are going to look back and wish they took advantage of rental uncertainty. Going in Zoom on this one. I feel something coming. I've only been doing this 17 years, guys. Here's what I feel. There's a little bit of people are still waiting. That's a consistent thing I get is people will still reach out and say, hey, it feels like it's coming to me a little bit. And that may be true in some respects to pricing. Here's what I'm fearful of for investors. Number one, I don't think these rates are moving anytime soon. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's really going to get much better. I was looking at that last week. I'm happy to bring Pierce back on. But all signs and indications are that I think this is just where we're going to be living for a while on rates. Remember my conversation with Alex a few weeks ago. I talked to my sellers and asked them how the rentals are doing. Guys, we're about to turn in a very, very solid rental performance year for the 2 years in a row. This will be the second year in a row. With consistency and the right expectation, the market demands more. With uncertainty, sellers are typically able to deal. Okay? So up until this point, up until this summer, there have been a lot of uncertainty about rental. Now it's getting a little certain out there. Actually, it's getting very certain. October's starting to book. They're getting the rates. You heard Alex. They're getting more in a lot of these cases. People are booking farther out again. Not in mass, not going crazy COVID times. But here's what I'm trying to explain for investors. There was a window of time, and I think it's still there. I think a lot of people have been waiting on the price drop without negotiating. Hear what I'm saying? Waiting on the price drop without negotiating for the price you want. There are thousands of you watching Zillow, watching your hot sheet, saying, man, if this drops to X, I may make a move. Meanwhile, while you're waiting, rental's getting stronger. Insurance is going down. These HOAs are going to have discounted rates because their insurance is going down. Rates are going to be flatline. With consistency comes consistent pricings. With uncertainty becomes leverage and negotiation room. I feel like a lot of people are missing it. That's just my statement, because my sellers right now, my owners with rental, are happy. And if they haven't dumped it already because they bought in 21, 22 and just needed to get out of the asset, because the rental's adjusted 30%, guys. So if you're waiting for people to panic because they bought it in 21, 22 and their values went down some and the rental went down 30%, guess what? They pretty much already have. There's been some aggressive sales out there, okay? So what I'm saying is, a lot of people have weathered the storm, rentals are leveling off, projections look good, and there's certainty. Opportunities for investors are typically an uncertainty. So that's my statement right now. That's what I feel. I like to bring it to you honest. And when I see 46 and 44, there's strikes going on. And if you're on the sidelines out there, you might want to dig in, okay? That's my take. Listen, those meetings on the beachfront are about to start taking place. I'm going to go to the meetings. I'm going to be in there. We're going to figure that out, and much more to come. More special guests on this, getting good feedback on the guests that we've been bringing in. Again, to give you guys that extra level. I want to hear from you. Thank you for so many of you that just reach out through text. I really appreciate it. And just let me know what you're up to, who you are. It's a great value to me. And any recommendations for what I can talk about, we're always open. Feel free to leave those in the comments, something you want to hear more about. If you got questions on it, please let us know. But appreciate you guys. We're rocking and rolling. Next week's the 4th. Grayton's going to be on fire. We love it. And we'll talk to you soon.